This is Story Saloon, short stories centre stage. I'm Jane Messer. Today we bring you the short story Octopus by Ngāi Tahu Māori and Australian writer Nic Low. Nic is the author of 3 acclaimed books, Arms Race, Uprising and Little Doomsdays, and his story Octopus was first published in the writing and culture journal Griffith Review and then in his award-winning short story collection, Arms Race. The reader is Taofia Pelesasa. Fia is a multidisciplinary Pacifica Australian creative from Western Sydney. Fia has worked across film, television and theatre throughout Australia, New Zealand, the UK and Samoa. We'll be hearing more from both Nic and Fia in the first of my in-depth Story Saloon conversations, which we're calling In the Saloon With. We'll be talking about writing, performance, culture, and the short story Octopus. Watch out for that episode release on April 29. Octopus is set amongst one of New Zealand's small South Island communities. It's about a gang of mischievous road workers, a small island, guns, and a giant octopus.
Octopus by Nic Low. At 10, the sun finally sets and the pub fills up and the news comes on. It's my round. A couple of aunties up the back give me a nod, but everyone else looks Pākehā. The publican looks at my tarred hands. You must be one of the roading gang boys, eh? He says. I'm Don. You got any ID? There's a couple of bushwalkers sitting at the end of the table when I get back. Cheers, Jer. A news item comes on about the Ruatoki terror raids. Fucking rubbish, says the first bushwalker. $8 million of surveillance and they catch some guys shooting pigs in the hills. Shooting their mouths off in the pub, more like it. Cop's been watching too many movies, says his mate. They reckon there'd be grenades and napalm, and all they got was 3 old rifles. Like there'd be any Maori terror camps in New Zealand. Tahu puts down his beer and leans in close. Nah, he says quietly. It's for real. What is? The first guy says. The training camps. Cops found nothing because they're stupid. The real guns are buried. My cousin went to that training camp. It was awesome. The 2 guys go real quiet. Cops only found 1 camp, Tahu says. But there's heaps. That's why we're down here. Got work on the roading gang so we can go. We've got an excuse to come to the island and train. He nods over at a bunch of fishermen at the pool table. Those guys too. They're hardcore. What do they teach you? The first guy whispers. Tahu glances around, then leans in even closer. It's the Al-Qaeda training manual, but with some Māori flavour. Mostly heavy weapons and explosives, but they throw in some taiha and some waiata too, and a bit of cannibalism. The guy sprays his beer all over the table. JJ's pretending to look for something under his chair so they can't see his face. And bushcraft, Tahu says. When we get the signal, we gotta leave the cities and live off the fat of the land, or the fat of our enemies. The 2 guys are staring at Tahu. Now's my chance. He's just taking the piss, I say. The real danger is the octopus. All the boys just lose it. The what? JJ gasps. The octopus. Fucking yeah. Splutters Tahu. You tell him, the Al-Qaeda terrorist octopus. I'm serious, I say. There's a giant octopus out in the bay. If we make a wrong move and wake him up, we're done. The boys are crying with laughter. People are looking at us. Tahu slides the heavy sash window up and tries to light a cigarette. The wind keeps blowing his matches out. There's a buzzing sound coming from nearby. Hear that? Says Tahu. They're training out there now. How to use a chainsaw in the dark. Shut the bloody window, yells Don, the publican. Sure, Tahu yells back. He grabs his phone off the table and climbs through the window, then closes it behind him. The whole place cracks up. Then the window opens again and Tahu's face looks in. Come on, boys, he says. Bugger the tab, let's go. The boys climb out the window in a sag-ass tumble and it's just me left in the pub. Something inside me goes crunch. Octopus, bitches! I scream through the half-open window. There's a mean-ass motherfucking octopus out there. I'm not coming out. You guys better run. Through the gap in the window, I see Tama sprawled out under the island's only streetlight. He's fallen over from laughing so hard. Tahu pulls him off the gravel and they head towards the wharf. They think the octopus is a hell of a joke. Thing is, I ain't joking. They call me little shit. On the days I don't feel like leaving the house, I'm little. I don't believe anything those days. Other days, I'm king of the world and probably up in your face. They call me shit. Those days, I believe too much. Today's one of them. I grab the window and crash it shut. I see the boys out on the road, just the foggy reflection of every single person in the pub glaring at me. I turn to face the bar, breathing hard. Crazy bastards, I say. They think I'm taking the piss. Nobody moves. They've all stopped talking. There's just the tiny chatter of the rugby on the TV and the clink of glasses going down along the bar. Don, the publican's watching through his slit eyes. I'm still in my dirty work blue and oranges, high-vis vest. My dad told me to watch for signs. We're 6 days into summer building roads on a rakiura, and I've found one. I step forward into the middle of the pub and I start to speak. Listen up, all right? You fellas got to be careful out there. When you leave the pub tonight and get in your cars, you go in fear and trembling. Because I saw this huge octopus from the back deck of the launch. Yes, I did. He's sleeping in the middle of the bay. You pissed him off and we're all dead. I turned to the fisherman. You fellas must have seen him. He's massive. The nearest fisherman looks at me real hard and gives this little shake of his head. He's trying to tell me something. There's no time to ask. The beach is right across the road and the octopus is right there. A black stain under the water. I raise my voice and let it ring out the way Dad does at his sermons. He's old too. Real old as Te Whiki. He's got a hardcore long memory. He never forgets. I try to smile, but it comes out a bit wrong. All big eyes and teeth like a pukana grimace. Don steps out from behind the bar and walks towards me. Come on, you nut job, he says. Shut up, pay up, and piss off. I take a step back. There's no hope for this lot. What are you fellas looking at? I ask the room. Don't you know we're the roading gang? We tried to warn yous. See yous around. I slide the window back up and half climb, half forth. Outside, the wind tears my clothes off. There's only one thing left to do. Run. When I catch up with the others, they're at the wharf. The wind's up and singing through the masts. They've got the back door to the ferry terminal open. JJ's up to his usual shit, banging around using his phone as a torch. Tahu sees me and turns. Octopus, he yells. Run, you bastard, run! Tama cracks up. But then he sees my face. He's got his hood up and his big curly afros coming out the sides. What's you on about this octopus, bro? He asks. Are you little or shit today? Shit, I tell him. He's somewhere out there, bro. I saw him. 50 arms and this big evil eye. We wake him and boom, we're done. I jab Tom in the stomach a little bit harder than I mean. Oh, sorry. But it's not safe. We gotta go. Tahu frowns. He cocks his head a little to the side like a sparrow. You're not shaking, are you? How do you know there's an octopus out there? I saw him from the ferry on the way over. How big is he? I lower my voice. Bigger than the pub. Tama leans back against the railings and folds his big arms. Right. Bigger than the pub. I tried to warn the guys in the pub, but they didn't want to know. Bugger them, says Tahu, hopping from one foot to the next to keep warm. Pākehā, they get what's coming to them. But it's all good. The octopus isn't going to come for us, right? We're safe, right? I can hear waves surge against the wharf beneath us. Tahu's being nice, but I got to tell the truth. No one's safe on this whole island, I say. If he gets pissed off, no one's safe. You're crazy, bro, says Tahu. He lets that hang there and then suddenly grins. Let's catch him, he says. My heart bumps. Tama groans and unfolds his arms. Oh, here we go. Fuck's sakes, Tahu. Tahu's nickname also means stop. Tahu ignores him like he ignores everyone. How about a spot of late night fishing, he says. We could grab one of these boats. How are we going to catch a giant octopus, asks Tama, sucking his breath in through clenched teeth. I don't know, says Tahu. My granddad caught octopus, but we never learned. He turns to me. Your dad used to catch them too, eh? Before he turned all God fairy. Seriously, I say, wrong idea. You don't want to get his attention, he'll kick your ass. Nah, man. We'd be like Maui. The greatest ancestor takes his jawbone and tames the sun, and we tame the octopus. There's heaps of boats, come on, let's go. Before I can say anything, he's down the wharf. He stops at a little dinghy at the far end. Oh yeah, says Tahu. Late night fishing, here we come. While he's trying to untie the ropes, I get this real clear feeling that Tahu's right. We have to go fishing. Dad's always telling us there's a reason for everything. Everything for a reason. Tells it to his congregation too. Chairs pulled up on the lino in our kitchen on a Sunday morning. Says it's so gentle. A reason for everything. Everything for a reason. Just watch for signs. So there's a reason I got kicked out of school and got a job out here. And a reason I saw the octopus. That's the sign. I'm not shit on the end of a shovel today. Over the surf, I can hear Dad's voice clear as, watch for the signs and you'll know what to do. I say a prayer under my breath. Lord, bless the people in the pub who don't want to know. And bless us in the boat. And we'll go do some fishing in your name. Ko ihu karaiti tō mātou ariki. Amen. All right, Tahu, I shout. Let's fucking go. We've just about got the ropes clear when there's a shout from JJ inside the ferry terminal. Check this out, boys. What is it? Tama calls back. Just come, Dick, have a look. We shamble over to the doorway where JJ's standing with his long black bag. He's busted the padlock and flips it open. By the light of his phone, I can see it's a gun case, 3 rifles howled in grey foam. Shit, Thomas says. Where'd you find them? In the office, JJ says. Must belong to some hunters going back on the morning launch. No bullets, though. They store those separately. I start giggling. Everything is clear. Sweet, eh? I say. We can shoot the bastard. I reach into the bag and take one of the rifles. It feels cold and smooth and good to hold. I point it out at the bay. Bang. Right in his big, horny mouth. Tahu's grinning like a madman. This is his kind of game. He grabs the other rifle, hands one to JJ and keeps one for himself. Come on, he says. Help me find the bullets. No way, Thomas says. Leave the bullets. That's heavy shit. Let's just grab the boat and go for a fish. We're so busy with the bag that we don't notice the truck pull up at the wharf till its headlights blaze across us. The doors slam and two big figures come marching up the wharf, just black shapes against the light. We're too stunned to move, and in a second I can see it's the island's one cop, a chubby Māori guy in a heavy swanderai and a black beanie. The other guy's Don from the pub, angry as. Shit, Thomas hisses. Shit. Put them away. Oi! A big voice yells. What in the hell? The cop's voice dies when he takes us in. 4 ragged mainlanders, hoods up against the cold, pants slung low, rifles glinting in the yellow glare. I'm still wearing my high-vis vest, lit up like an angel in the headlights. The cop reaches out his hands, palms down, real slow. What you boys doing? I'm trying to find some words, but Tahu starts taking the piss. It's tino rangatiratanga. Hey, says the cop. JJ starts to giggle. Time to make the white man pay, bro, Tahu says. I can feel Tama stiffened beside me, mouthing. We're the roading gang, I say. We're the 4 road workers of the apocalypse. The cop's only meters from us, but he turns and runs, grabbing at Don on his way past. Tahu cracks up. Tino rangatiratanga, he yells. Then fuck the police. In a second, they're in the truck and screaming back down the road towards the pub. We just stand there in the growing silence, caught between shit scared and that mad humour that gets you when you've gone too far. Time to get the hell out of here, boys, says Tahu. His clean-shaven cheeks are glowing. What? Where the hell are we going to go? Tama demands. The temperature suddenly drops. Go hide out at ours like they don't know where we live. Only 200 people on this bloody island. Man, we're just messing around, JJ says. They know that. Are we? Tahu says. Do they? Let's take the boat and go, I say. We have to go after the octopus. There's just the road end, the wharf and the boats. Everything else is a black wall of bush and water. There's nowhere else to go on this island. We've got to go, I say. It's our calling. Oh, for fuck's sakes, Thomas says. Let's go. Look. There's a light moving outside the pub. Lights going on in the houses up on the hill. Cars heading our way. We stumble back up the wharf and climb down into the boat. JJ and Tama find a couple of orange plastic oars and we push off into the bay. The sound of the waves is the sound of the octopus breathing. I cradle the rifle to my chest and hope I'll know what to do. Tahu's laughing, crouched low in the back of the boat, yelling insults in Māori that the wind snatches away. Shut up, Dick, Thomas says. You don't want to mess with these guys. The oars aren't doing much, but once we clear that little point, the breeze and the current push us out towards the middle of the bay. I look back. I can see cars from the pub pulling up outside the Foursquare supermarket on the waterfront. They're making a line, blocking off the road down to the wharf. The police trucks' red and blue lights pick out figures moving in the dark, black clothes, the glint of rifles. A bus comes down the hill behind the supermarket and turns towards the wharf. Must be the tourist bus dropping people off for the Dawn Ferry. They stop the bus at gunpoint and make everyone get off and lie on the ground. I can hear static and feedback in the dawn air. Someone's bellowing into a megaphone, but it could be in another language. Thomas saying something to me, but I can't hear him. We're getting close now. I can hear the creature stir. Oi, you okay? Thomas says again. He shakes my arm. I open my mouth to make a joke, but nothing comes out. I feel the thunder of long arms running across the ocean floor. We're out in the bay, crouched in the rowboat, right over the creature's great unblinking eye. The shore's crawling with cops and hunters and tourists, all luring him out. Down on the beach, a hunter's dog stands frozen, pointing out to the sea, a loud growl of fear in its throat. I look at the rifle in my hands and I know it's useless, but it's the only jawbone I have. I know it's my calling, to raise him. I'll raise him up and I'll tame him. Before anyone can stop me, I'm on my feet in the middle of a boat, a luminous orange angel in my high-vis vest. It's the uniform of the reckoning, the uniform of Tino Rangatiratanga. I think of my dad's fierce eyes. I raise my arms towards the wharf with my rifle in my hands, towards the lights and the voices and all the people, and I begin to chant, Haere mai! A flare of light. A flare of light and a fierce crack, and this huge wind picks us up. Someone cries out, and beneath us the surface of the bay explodes. With a mountainous roar, a blue-black knot of ancient muscle surges up beneath the light like a blunt-nosed submarine. He rises. The octopus, the mighty octopus Te Wheke, rises from the boiling sea. Oceans thunder off his back. He rises and we fall, and as I fall, my gaze takes in the frightened faces of the hunters and the farmers, hunkered down behind their utes. 8 tentacles go hissing across the waves, as thick as mighty tree trunks, as thick as mighty waka, horned with weed and lethal suckers. And the last thing I see before I hit the water, before a tentacle lashes through the front of the pub in an explosion of wood and tentacle lashes, and the police truck through the front of the Foursquare, and the last thing I see is the gleaming, dripping moko carved upon the creature's chin, and the look in its single world-sized eye that finally says, it's time.
The live readings for Story Saloon at the Vanguard were recorded by Martin Gallagher with additional audio engineering by Finn Walker. Your host has been Jane Messer. A big thanks to the whole Story Saloon team.